Can you hear
Good
us?
morning.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Runnings, coming to you live from inside the zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Welcome to another exciting feature of the program where we talk about our traditions and cultures, memories of our childhood, and bouts of laughter, especially this morning. This morning's topic, country come to town or country come at town. People from across Jamaica, particularly the rural parishes, journeyed to the city of Kingston, aka town, seeking a better life. However, with many bright lights and busy streets, how the commuters hustled and bustled were enough to bring on anxiety that brought a drastic change in the town experience. Joining me once again this morning are Jackie Brainbox Tyson, Shanette Nignot Brown, Maxine Max Fort Lyons, and Jennifer Douglas will be joining us in a few minutes. Welcome everybody. A Satideh. How na do, how na do, how
Morning,
na do.
ladies.
Morning,
Ladies.
morning.
Locks.
Morning.
It has been a week for many of us, and the packing, the anxiety that we depend. I wonder how we're gonna manage, and if Mary Sue are gonna really come meet we down a bus line, down a tram station, 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, we in the 2000s, whatever era, decade you fall into, we want to hear from you this morning. If you notice, I landed smack in town. Bearing in mind that I am Kingstonian born, and then they shipped me off in reverse to country. But I used to have to go back to town during my holidays and all that kind of stuff. So I was still connected. But for those who never had a connection, literally close them eye and say, I wonder what town look like. Town must look like this, town must look like that. And TV never help because some never have any. Therefore, it promises to be quite the experience because many people who reside in City Kingston, whether Upper St. Andrew or downtown in the harbor, you all came here with great expectations. City Kingston is really where things ought to be happening. That's your hub, that's your capital. And so everybody wanted to come to town because when Mary Sue got back her country, she looked like she had come from town for real.
Thank you.
The last time she never did look how she looked. So you say, boy, better they are town. With us this morning, of course. So Max, Shanette, and again, Jen will be joining us. But we all look like we are going somewhere.
Thank you.
Yes,
Absolutely.
me present
Something
myself properly because me going to look at day's work and my cousin down at Spanish Town tell me say me can't stop a she and me can't take a bus going a town quick a morning. So me prepare myself so me put on my little straw hat because it double as a fan sometime because the place hot. But me think me ready and put on my little I want church tap this, but me put it on to kind of make a good impression, Because it's hard work, I don't work them take me. Me I take the diesel still not diesel, me I go up on 5 o'clock a morning. Yeah.
So you have to get up soon.
Get up
Yeah,
soon.
me have to catch it and then me hope then I don't forget to come pick me up down a Spanish Town railway because I don't know where fit on when me reach there.
We understand.
You can't go town and look top down. So the little something them will come in at the barrel from England the other day. When my cousin then send down, they send me new dark glasses, to put on with my tested glasses. And them send Them send me new tide. They send me ears ring and look at me pearls. Me can't go town look at me pop down a country me come from. But then can't send me no look good.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we are experiencing such anxiety that we hope so we chest no pop out. Or we close. Because heart just a beat, you know. Heart a beat fast.
Man, I thief money from people at home. So me carry my money from my trade bag. Yeah, my bosom. Right, yes.
Okay.
Yes, enough motor car did it, enough motor will look down in a road. So yeah, if you stay at the banking.
Oh,
Exactly.
so me have to take off the dark cars so me can see them.
Right.
Oh.
Okay.
So I see that Max is already in the bus.
Yes, I said I can't see the front of the bus already. Lord, the road rough is in the bus. It's like fling me out so I fling me this up. Anyway, I don't know if I dress up come is a woman love dress up when me I got town. We put on my essence this morning and I put on couscous. And yes, you can't forget the lily and bag when me get in a barrel. So
how was
it?
Yes,
you have to look your best.
Yeah, we need a little kalanga water and little smelling salt because sometimes your stomach don't feel good on the bus. So you need a little smelling salt and all of these things. Everything in my bag.
You know the newspaper that we put in your stomach.
Yeah, man, you had up already, man. Because you know, me can't to take the shaky, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Me pad up man, the Chris there, so you know, hear it, the Chris, you know.
So how you are get your diesel station, Shane?
Well, may I catch mass run go down earlier morning time.
Mm-hmm.
So right in a mobile there, so off of Barnett Street Railway Lane, me going down with my money from 4:30. These will pull out 6 o'clock, you know, but if he left me not have no more rides, so I go down with him early, and me go and sit down there till when these will start up. Then me know me a first one and me God.
Okay. Yes, sir. And Jackie.
Me did borrow the donkey from Maskin last night, so we can prepare early this morning, about 4 o'clock. Because we have to walk about 4 miles and we have to wake up a picnic them to come walk back the donkey, go back and give masking. Because they need the donkey to go early in the morning. So me go a bus stop, then me have to take one rickety vehicle then call it and I may have to go catch not liner now. Liner now, yes, me have to catch a big knot liner where I go down a papine.
Oh, aye.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And Max, how you jerk your way into town, yes or no?
Well, you know, this morning we wake up as cocks to give me my drawers this morning, me wake up. I feel like one bucket torch because, you know, the road dark, me now no street lights, me right, me light a bucket torch. I'm a little brother, them follow me, go to a clan mill to go catch Master Key. Because Master Key and the first bus will go to town, you know, so we reach a town now, so right now, my cousin put to go pick me up down a parade.
All right, me about parade.
One up papine. Me then last a lucky thing you said that, Max, because a parade, me figure one up papine. A parade. I don't want pee. Me no say one pee, but me a papine. I know a parade. A parade.
So you're the born for last at town then.
Born for last at town.
Lordy. Well, you know, the gentlemen in my community who have what they call them again, GMC, little van, mass walking. Many not thinking can drive so straight, but they use him anyway. And we community trust.
You can't drive straight.
Many not thinking drive so good, but anyway. And him we have to take and just hold prayer and hold PG. That we reach. So welcome to everyone. We do have our guests as always. So we'd like to acknowledge them because we just want to talk about country people who are come at town first time. First time.
Me I tell you.
So morning to Andrea Good old Andrea in Barbados, another Saturday morning.
Hey,
Ryan,
Andrea.
as usual.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan say rah, rah, rah. Hey, yes, yes, yes. So him say, what now? All you hot ladies, my cute queenie, big up to all you nice. Love the look, of course. You know we have to represent.
Yes, man.
And Vero is here. Vera morning. And Angie's
Hi,
here.
Vero.
Morning, Angie.
Yes, Angie. Angie's here. Hi,
Divine
Angie.
Connection. And yes, so they are coming in.
Yes, they're waking
All
up.
right. So what Angie said, going to town. Yes, going to town from country back in the days is the equivalent of going to foreign.
To foreign. No, for real.
Quite so.
That is so true. So welcome everyone. And remember, when you log on, please share the link with somebody and tell them that we are here. Hey, Betty, what was the first trip you had from Westmoreland coming into town? We want to hear from you. Morning, Paulette. So we're saying hi to Paulette. She said, good morning. Brenda is here. A beautiful Saturday morning, Queens. Love the outfits, of course. A town we are going. We have to dress up. So
the pearls.
Right. So our focus now is on that very, those of you who born in country and your very first trip into city Kingston. What was it like? We need to hear from you, Max. So audience, start posting as always, and then we'll start the discussion with our team. We have the best team, you know. They say they're full of experience, can done. Can done. So Max, we'll start with you this morning.
Okay, so I was born in Kingston. So I'm really Kingstonian by birth, but I grew up in St. Mary. I went to St. Mary when I was about maybe 5 or 6 years old. So I grew up in the country. So returning to Kingston was exciting for me. Of course, going to Kingston back then, our town was an event. Nobody went to Kingston in an ordinary way because it was like going to foreign, as somebody suggested before. So the whole thing was to get dressed up in your best. If you have to borrow a church, you can borrow the church because a town you come. So it was a dress-up thing. Back then, people were able. It was tight skirts and ease. Remember the able? Tight skirts and ease, and of course the pearls and whatever you were wearing in terms of jewelry, and the makeup had to be a part of it because it was an event. It was like an event going to Kingston. It was a special place, so you didn't go there ordinary. You had to look the part so that you had to impress the folks or your family members that you were gonna meet and reach in Kingston. So I know about the dress-up part of it. I remember too going there for holidays, going to Kingston for holiday, carry your stand-up rack, carry, go to Kingston, go walk barefoot, so then buy like a rubber push-toe slippers for you, because you go to town. You can't go to go walk barefoot. And they pack your best clothes. So you make a Sunday frock with a put on a Sunday evening, but you wouldn't really wear it in the yard during the week. They would pack that for you to wear a town in the yard. So they kind of look better looking ones. And of course, they make new nightie. I remember my grandmother made a nightie for me, and I'll give that story later on in the show, because that is hilarious. but as I said before, Kingston was just the place to be and to go back then. When you stand up at a bus stop and somebody's going to Kingston, they can the difference, because the dressing was different. Totally. If you go up on Highgate, it's not the same as when you go to town. People make
that's true.
Them go to town to where go to town. So town was the place to be. And of course, I let others share and we'll get into it more. But thank you all for joining us.
So we start off. Thank you, Max. So, Jack, let's hear your story, Jack. Short, because we have enough more for talk.
As always, one of my first experiences going to Kingston with my grandmother. And I can remember her wearing a pair of glasses looking like this.
Oh.
And she put it over because she has always had problems with her eye. So she was going into Kingston to look about her eye because she's had 9 surgeries on her eyes. And I remember she always leave these special dark glasses for when she's going to any special places, convention, stuff like that. And one of my experiences going to Kingston with her, she had on these dark glasses and she had to dress me like how she dressed herself. So she have on the 3 sister, me have on the 2 sister. So I'm just replicating some of what grandma did.
We love that. All right, thank you, Jack. So let's step on over to Sherns.
Hey, yeah, I'm Kingstonian born as well, but went to Granny at a year old. So I was pretty much I grew up in St. James in Orange this whole time, and they upset me very much when them say you have to go to town. I mean, I said town, but at that age, I think because when I met my mother, I mean, of course, she came to see me in the interim, but I was too young to remember. When I met her, I think I was maybe 5 or maybe 6 years old, and when my grandmother said, "Come, we have to go to town," just like Jackie said about the 2 sisters, the 3 sisters. We dressed to kill or dressed to thrill, one or the other. And you know, me I said, "What is this town?" And she had tell me, said, "There your mother live and your father, and up there big and they have enough motor car." There she doesn't say motor car, she said motor, they have boat and such. But our mode of transportation was to take the diesel. So we went into Mobile and we got on the diesel. It may have been 5 in the morning or thereabouts. And
The diesel, I must say, it's a train.
normal, we had train and diesel, but what it is diesel went before the train. The diesel has specific stops. You know, you if you want to go all out, you could probably say express stops to some degree. I think it had 1 stop in each parish it passed through, as opposed to the train. The train was slower and it came later, and the train carried mostly cargo. But the
Okay.
diesel carried both cargo and passengers, and people were dressed to the nines in the train. And we would, and then there were, you know, stops along the way where you could buy stuff to eat, and they would stop for a moment and all of that. But we caught the diesel. You know, later on as I got older, she introduced me to the buses, you know, Mayflower and all that, that would take me into Kingston. By then I was traveling alone, but that's a different story. But you know, going with Granny to see the other cousins and to spend time with my parents was my first foray out there in town. And it was by the diesel from Montego Bay. Actually, we got off at the railway in Spanish Town. So I'm not sure if the train, if the diesel terminated at Spanish Town or if it went into Kingston at that time. I don't know. But we got off in Spanish Town. My uncle came and picked us up. We went to his house and we spent a week there. And then we went into Kingston. So my trip was further delayed by a whole week, because my grandmother wanted to go and spend a week with her son and his family. And he had a lot of children, so I had a lot of cousins by him there. And we spent a whole week and then continued on the weekend. And my mother came to us in Spanish Town and took us into Kingston. But it was an event, like it was a whole event, you know. Like I had to have on the patent leather shoes and my ankle socks and the two-sister frock with the high waist with my belt and a matching cloth flower hat to go with the frock. Yeah, you have to reach in style.
All right, thank you. And of course, being Kingstonian born, I went to Clarendon when I was 7. And I know going back to Kingston for holidays and all of that. My uncles drove, so we would either drive into Kingston, going up to Chichi. We lived at 4 Eastern Avenue.
Chichi.
My great grandma, we call her Chichi. Yes, she had lived in the United States for like 40-something years, I believe, and then she had returned home. So we had family home. We would go back, and there every holiday, every whenever, you know, until eventually move back to town. So I don't have the country coming to town experience, but I have the town going to country experience.
Country.
Right. Good. Yes. But I do recall seeing people who we're so excited. I go back at town for first time, going to visit Kingston for the first time, and you could hear them, either them on the mule, the donkey, or there was something we call Main Ridge taxi, one old Land Rover that people would be journeying on. It's either they're going to go to Maypen or they're gonna stop right in Independence Square, right there, and commute from there. But Shanette is right. Pygmy would be dressed in their little sister frock and them bonnet and something. And if you hear, just like, boy, may I tell you, just like when you hear say people are going foreign and then say them are going to come for one few months and then you know see them come back. I same thing.
Run off. Then
run off at town.
All of a sudden, you just see somebody come back, and you know them just say, "Well, then they are told," and you just leave it there, so, right? But it's the same thing.
And life and kill them. You
So-
know
so-
that in their town.
And if we look back now, you know, many people who came into town, half the time they don't really know where they might go. And those who had come already and set up base, now said to you, say, well, me downtown, as in the heart of town. Especially say when the latter 60s and say 70s, when the immigration into Kingston became so rampant, and then the communal kind of living, right? And the zinc fence and all that. Sometimes they never prepare them.
And tenement yard lady.
There you go.
Go to that.
Yeah. So a lot of people who came into town for the first time, when them end up at one place then called Gate, is a line of zinc fence, you see, I go down.
Lord have mercy.
Right? Because they didn't come into that rich cultured experience of being above Crossroad.
Right.
Much. I mean, if we were to go back in our history, and we all know it, over time, the scenery changed.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
The people who were there from the say 1930s and stuff, that was a different life, a different time. And then, you know, things changed as people came in. So when you leave your little country place, things say you're going to come now into bright lights and all of that. You come, yes, you see light, but light of a different form. You see, right? You're shocked.
Yeah.
Some people were shocked. Yes, Jackie.
What was also strange for me when I actually started now to go to Kingston a little bit more often, like maybe the second or third time I was a little bigger, I was realizing now, you know, just taking note of the place. Me I look for one ground where they have yam, like which part me I come from. Me I look for see if they have dashi in a yam ground. And me not see nothing like that.
No.
And me I say, I don't not have no ground, and I have no, me not see where them plant anything, because that's what I was used to. And me I see buildings. So that was strange for me coming from country. Me I look for the farms and stuff like that. So that for me was strange.
You see Angie, she about stowaway at home.
Town was concrete jungle. And I remember my grandmother used to carry a lot of yam and what they call ground provisions to town, because they eat rice every day, every meal. I never had that, you know. We used to eat rice on Sunday, that's it. Sunday rice.
Yes.
And they would eat rice. So my grandmother would pack up, you know, breadfruit, and my grandfather had planted yams and sweet potatoes and stuff. And she would carry like a whole bag of that to divvy up amongst my mother and, you know, her brother and the children. You know, but town was concrete jungle. I was a tomboy, and because I spoke country lingo, you know, and when they bother me, me used to want to lick them down with stone, you know. I remember
Could
one
find a
time.
store.
Yeah, man, the thing so, hey, the days of us, you know, if you need to hand on a stone, you better duck R1 because me a clap him, you know,
Me
miss.
too.
Yeah, you
Me
know, miss.
too.
And we used to go bird bush, you know, but with slingshot and so and lick down birds. So me, I did not,
Yes. Me and
me
my
was a
brother them. Yes.
man. Yeah, but anyway, I remember like Jackie was saying about, you know, they don't have no ground because the
Yeah.
backyard was small side yard. The front yard was just for flowers. And I remember my mother lived in Harborview. Was it? I think it was 31 Pearl Avenue in Harborview. And she planted a little pet mango tree. I think it was a Julia or a bomb. I think it was a Bombay because it was, you know, small, but it had big mangoes and stuff like that. But outside of that, there was no planting, no nothing. It was just some people backyard
Mm-hmm.
was completely around because, you know, like I was saying, you know, my siblings and cousins and stuff, they used to bother me about how I speak, and they would want it, you know, me to repeat after them and say what they say. And when I get aggravated, I
No,
remember
that
one day we
God.
had a little lime tree, man, and I go under the tree and me I look for some stone because I say, oh, me I look down everybody. I couldn't find a
Oh,
stone.
God, girl.
I couldn't find a pebble.
Thank you.
It was crazy.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, but you know
yes.
Oh
what?
my God.
I recall when I was very young. I think that time I was still living in Kingston with my mother. Joey's bus was the thing. Joey's bus was nice
Oh
and big and
yes.
sponge. And I recall being in parade. Very young, but it was beautiful back then. King Street Parade. They had this pink and a store called Pink and Black, and then they had
Mm-hmm.
and the pavement was black and white.
Yes,
Music
I
was playing
remember.
in the store, balloons were hanging, everything was just pretty and nice and clean. There were no graffitis on buildings. The streets
Mm-hmm.
were clean and well paved. That's how I knew Kingston when I was a child. It was everything was beautiful, pretty. When you walk by the store, you hear music playing, the doors are open, and nobody now pick nobody, and it was just nice. The
Mm-hmm.
buses were
Right.
clean, as I said before, well kept. Everybody was dressed up. I
Mm-hmm.
remember, as I said, I told
Mm-hmm.
this story before in another past show where me have my little brand new shoes and white socks, and me want pee pee. I mean, I tell my mother me pee pee in my shoes. And they run them in my socks and blow up my socks. But my mother was dressed to the teeth in this yellow dress. Her hair was pressed and curled. She had my sister in
Uh-huh.
her hand, and I was the older one walking. She was holding my hand, and my sister was in her hand because there was no stroller back then.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
both of us were well dressed as babies or as kids, and my mother was dressed to the teeth as well. So
Mm-hmm.
everything
Mm-hmm.
was posh and nice and clean. But then Kingston was like foreign, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
remember as
Mm-hmm.
a child. And then
Mm-hmm.
after I
Yes.
moved to St. Mary and went back to Kingston, then Kingston run down by then.
Yes,
It
yes,
wasn't
yeah.
as posh, but
That is
town was
true.
the place. Yes.
That is true. And of course, if as we started
Mm-hmm.
talking and going through the process of preparing, there was the good old Dulce,
Yes.
Dulcini.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
There
love
was
one.
Dulce, Dulce, and
Mm.
other bags that you would put together for the
Yes,
trip.
man.
And
Mm-hmm.
then, as we spoke about, getting
The
ready
big
for the
boss.
bus, you dress up and your
Oh
bus
yeah.
there wait and thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come
And
into
the
this
men,
pretty place. Here
yes,
you
and
come
the
in.
men from country going to Kingston, more
Mm-hmm.
than likely you would see them in a jacket.
Yes, man. They
Yes.
were
They would
trash,
just
Right.
put on them, yeah, like
trash
them
up
going to
and
church and
ready.
put on them jacket, going to
Mm-hmm.
Kingston.
Trash and ready. I remember somebody had said, as I put this up, of our great historic building there at the ward. But
War
Yeah.
then,
theater.
yeah,
What theater?
somebody had reached when they got there and look up. They said, "What a big church!"
Oh wow.
Oh,
But
theater.
because
Lord have
you have to
mercy.
remember, say, where them a come from, either some little trashy mini church,
Yes.
right? Or even
Yeah.
if there's an actual structure, it wouldn't look nothing like that.
Right.
Absolutely.
And most of the time it wouldn't be concrete, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It wouldn't be made out of concrete. So that in itself would be like a wow. Because I remember going to Ward Theatre and every year for pantomime. My mother never missed.
Mm-hmm.
Every year we had to go to pantomime. But what I also remember, Max, when you talk about downtown and stuff, like when you have like a roundabout and stuff, there would be a police officer directing traffic.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
And there would be uniform down man, starch, and very, very nice. And they had white gloves on.
White gloves, yes.
Yeah, and they would be
Yes.
directing the traffic, and it was a sight to behold. You would be
Yes.
walking, and yes, something similar to that. You would be walking, and you just stand on the side because they were so precise in their movement.
Yes,
They were
ma'am.
not dramatic, and the gloves were white and looked like they were starched. Yeah, and they would just be directing the flow of traffic, because of course there was no stoplights and all of that.
Yes.
Yeah. So
That's true.
that was something for a little country girl.
And they
That
would
was
move
like,
their
wow.
hand in a special way, and it just
Yeah.
would captivate me. Like they would,
Yeah.
and they would turn like tin soldiers, and they would direct the
Right.
traffic. It was just
Right.
amazing.
I used to really like to see that. That was a highlight. And I also like the JOS buses because my mother used to take us on JOS buses all the time. And even that trip after we got to Spanish Town on the diesel, and I would have been there for a week. When my mother came on the weekend, she would take us on a JOS bus into Kingston. And it is so funny. As a kid, I used to love smelling the fumes of the bus. Because I was way down like probably knee height. I was little kid. So I'm knee height. So when you line up going in the buses, all I could smell was the fumes because that's where my face was. But I used to like smelling the fumes, and I used to like smelling the tickets. When the conductor would bring the tickets and give you, I used to like to smell the tickets, like the perforation where you break it off and you smell maybe it's the ink or whatever. But I didn't know that them fumes could have killed you if I stayed there inhaling it, but I used to like the fumes.
Right.
But
Of course. And let's hop on over to our chat so they know that, yes. I want to say morning to my friend Valerie Estrid, Serene. We grew up together, went to high school together. And she's in Canada now, so she's on with me this morning. We have nickname for each other. One Sunday we sit down in a church and nickname people. So we walk away with the name Timble and Dropsy, all because somebody had on a Timble heel shoes and one of the lady used to make drops. So while we nicknaming people, we just took the name. So Timble and Dropsy we call.
Morning, Dropsy.
And I want to say morning to Princess. She says, morning, Lady D and everyone. I'm not late, but I cast it to my TV and then can get in live chat. So I come back to phone so you all know I'm on. No mind. All right. Glad you're here. You worked it out. Andrew said Dulcie or scandal bag.
Because people could not afford suitcase.
Please.
That's all they had. Or they use the leatherette. They use the leatherette to make a handlebar, and that's what they would pack their clothes and everything in to carry with them.
All right,
you have my grip.
Oh, you have your grip. So Princess says, my first trip to town is on school trip. All right.
Yeah, look like a last.
Because especially when you go town, you go Funland. Right?
Funland, that's what I was gonna say.
Funland Garden or the Arawak Museum. The Arawak Museum right there out in Spanish Town there. So
yes. Right. Any trip from either school or church trip to Kingston is Hope Garden, Funland, Ward Theatre. Like
and the zoo.
The zoo.
All right. So while you're posting, just tell us the very first time you went to town and what the experience was like. That's what we're interested in, because me sure it's enough people, as well as a stage fright, town fright. And then, in a previous program, we had discussed how the town people kind of sound different. So when you come and listening to people talking, you never want to talk too much. Because,
you talk bad.
like when they're turning.
After a while, you just smile and nod after, just smile and nod. Nobody say nothing.
But let me drop this little story in here, and this is a story of a family member. I say my cousin's daughter, sister went to Kingston. She did need something on her foot, and them carry her go to a store in Kingston. You know, store where it open out and have everything there. She walk into the store and walk up to the counter and ask the lady if she have any judging slippers.
Really?
We know that. Then we say judging slippers.
The woman was lost. She wondered what she talking about.
That she wanted to judge in a yard.
That is like a man who had gone into one of them corner stores in Poughkeepsie and looked for serviette. And nobody in a corner store can't figure out when my talk about. I want other Jamaican guy who go in there and say, yes, man, you might talk about napkins.
Serviette, yeah.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so we have a break. We have breaking news here. Breaking news. Guess who? Look who has arrived.
Me just put on my dose in the break.
What's your rouge? I lip sync that all over our channel, you know.
The dress.
Yeah, you know, me just come from town, and yes, so I'm a Kingstonian. So hi there, good morning everybody. How not do everybody?
We good.
I'm nervous because we just come off of the bus and we kind of feel kind of dizzy because you know town see so big. It's big, man. Town big.
Oh my God.
And I just like how Miss Lady D, good morning. I gave you the floor. I saw this poem from Miss Louise Bennett about country boy. About country boy. And I just saw it, so I'm gonna try to read it to you guys because it was so funny. It's typical of country people coming to town for real.
Yeah.
So it's called Country Boy, written by Miss Louise Bennett. Me no like tongue at all. Me no going go back there. The one no more week me spend there, me meet crosses in here. One day me walk down King Street and me go in a one store. Me think them call Enterprise, but me not so sure. Me don't know if you don't know Enterprise store in a Kingston. Me don't know.
Me know it. Don't know.
Yeah. Me turn up about the place. Look on everything. Till me see one woman squeeze something and me hear the something ring. I don't know what. Me see one doorway open. The woman go in at the door. Me ask the man where she gone. Him said she gone a 5 Price store. I don't know that place. Me think to myself, I don't know what 5 Price store they pantan. If this thing can't hear there, it can't hear me. It can't me go foreign land. So I guess it if she think I don't know what it is yet. Remember Liz Lou we gone overseas from me a little boy and say I go look fear and me start full up with joy. Me put me hand on the button. The door open with ease. Me step in at the thing, the man stop me Cuba, please. So she want go Cuba. The man make up him face and slant say, when it the rain, me think, he make up him face like when you see rain, me think. So he turn round and say, if him think a aeroplane, me there. The thing start move. Me feel like me drink one glass of beer. I never know myself. So till the man say, come out here. Me step in a one pretty place and nearly drop a ground. When I see this straight here lady just walking up and down. One pretty girl step out and she, what can I do for you? Hear me. Is this Cuba? I presume. I want to see Cousin Lou. The girl bust out a laugh and say, you're dizzy from the ride. You're from the country. I poor thing. You step round the aisle. She show me some step. I don't ride and she show the step and the woman said, let me explain because this is hard because it's very fine. But it the woman tell her say, she go stop one side and go down on the stairs. So I presume it's an elevator. Do you think so?
Yes.
Yes. So people, when they come and they see elevator, they don't know that it's elevator. You understand me? So the woman going at the elevator think it go take her go on foreign land. So she said she want to go Cuba.
After all.
So when the lady tell her start laugh after her and say, look, you know, you take the stairs next time. Take the stairs next time because this is not this don't go. And the man say, you think an aeroplane you're in? So in the last part she said, Mrs. Me go in a temper, me get in a temper and take a quote and say, I don't like tongue at all, and I now go back there. So some people, when they go to the remember the country mouse and the town mouse. When they go to the town so busy and all heap of things, escalator, elevator. I remember, although I was born in Kingston and I was going on an escalator, Lord Jesus, I put my foot out a dozen times on the escalator.
You step on, step off.
Because I know where I go. Me say, and somebody hold me and say, just stand up still, just stand up still. And when you reach to the top, you just jump. And me say, I never jump there, I never do.
Some people can't manage it. It's very
difficult. I mean, Miss Lou wrote this poem. I've never saw it before. And I just said, let me look for one of her country something. And I found it. And I say, oh my gosh, I didn't hear that poem before. So I was not able to read it as eloquent as I should. But it is about the elevator. The elevator.
Well, so welcome, Jen. Just want to acknowledge this note that Princess wrote. I always enjoy school trip, but not when I get back to class. You would have to write essay about the trip in like 50 words. How can you cover all them places you go in 50 words? I don't know.
Real. Serious thing.
Ryan said, hi, Jen. Wow. Somebody said, good as for them. All right. You might talk to Jen. You might call you good as.
And Jennifer husband Ryan.
Oh my God, Ryan, welcome Ryan. We didn't miss you last week. Hey.
So Sister Charles says first time going to town. So she's not Jamaican, you know. Sister Charles come from oh Jesus. Sister Charles, remind me your island again. Antigua. My first time going to town was being afraid to cross the street and have to hold on tight to my mom's hand. I know how that go. Greatly, morning, great. They said the first time we got to town, my uncle cooked soup Sunday, so me get sick For me never get soup and son.
That's
all I used to drink. That's all I used to drink.
Uncle
That's
couldn't put
all
that
I
there.
used to drink. My mother couldn't give me rice and peas and chicken. I only drank soup on
Yeah?
Sunday.
All right, Brenda said my first trip to town was to the airport. I'm sure it was somebody going away on some trip. Is either they're going into some van or them are going a truck back.
Yes.
I remember I also gave it. They told you the story about the man. Everybody talk about this story about the man who was going on farm work, and he took the plane from Montego Bay. The plane stopped in Kingston to pick up people, and him come off. And when he walked in the airport, he saw somebody that he knew, and him said, "Man, you here too? You there? You there too?"
Hello, but you know, remember, so me telling you when we did go stop, I got Nassau for perform and
yes,
stop.
Yes, and I remember that lady.
And my friends said we're checking our own country. Hello. Lord Jesus. All right, so here is Ricky. Ricky and I grew up together. Morning, Rick. Ricky said, Lady D, my first trip to town that I remember was when I went to live in 1975. I got in late and fell asleep. In this, it was uptown, Dillsbury Avenue. When I woke up in the morning, I heard cars driving and car horns coming from Barbican Road, and I panicked because back in Penance, we could know whose car
My truck bus
was coming based on the sound. I remember wondering how we were supposed to know whose car it was. I love that, Ricky.
Poor Ricky.
So Brenda says, I was 13. I really thought I was in foreign when I saw the planes. Okay. Lord. All right. So who remember now, when finally you're in town, you have the movie theaters, right? There is Majestic Theater out there on what's the name again? Majestic there.
I think it's North Street area, downtown.
Yes, downtown. It's downtown. Then you had Carib Regal.
Caribbean Crossroad, yeah.
Caribbean Regal in Crossroad.
Yes. And there was one called Odeon.
Odeon, right?
Odeon,
that's in Halfway Tree.
Right.
Odeon in Halfway Tree. And I don't know if anybody know, but there was a lady who had gone to the one down by Majesty. So she never had no TV or country at all. So now that she reached town, relatives say, make them, carry her out for the experience.
Yeah.
Like when we carry out people when they come afar.
Yes.
So they carry her out, and when she got in to the theater, the surround sound and thing, how it sound bumbling and I don't know what
it's right there.
Yeah, I don't know what movie she went to see. Anyway, she go and she sit down, and them say she just hold on to her seat tight. I would relax, because if the vehicles are driving in the scene, in a particular scene, and coming forward, she swears it will come through the screen.
It's the screen.
Half of the time, she inside of the people then theater, a scream out. And they had to take her outside and said, no, this movie we into, it not coming through the screen. So, people's experiences really are different.
Yes.
And when you don't know, you just don't know.
You just don't know.
Michael, when I came to America, I see the no standing sign, and I think I must stand there. So so you
know.
No, hi Jackie, how you too? Jen mentioned it few episodes ago.
No, one of my girlfriends' cousin did that.
Yeah.
She said,
yeah,
go to the bus stop and tell him
it's
where
just
to
the
go
other
right to
day
the
I
house.
realized that I can stand there. I never know.
Right. And Jen honest. She don't know, she don't know. Mm-hmm.
I
Even
have
up
a
to
little story.
the
I have a little story that I have to share, guys.
Oh my
Or girls, or
goodness.
ladies. This story I'm telling you, it stands out in my head that it's not even funny. When I grew up with my grandmother and I used to wet bed, and this was summer holiday, we go to Kingston to spend holidays. Normally go and spend a week or two, because it's 8 weeks of holidays for summer. So my grandmother make me this new nightie, because she used to like to sew. She get this piece of cloth and she make me this new nightie. And I had to go to Kingston to spend holidays. She's given the night to sleep in the night before. She said, if you piss to bed tonight, you're not going to town tomorrow. So I went to bed in the new nightie, because the same night me okay, I go to town the next day now. And I pull up the nightie all the way up to my waist, up to my neck. just in case we went to bed the night you know get wet. The night I could not sleep. I did not sleep because I can't afford to the bed. Can't afford PT up the night and I have to go to town.
Mm-hmm. So you know pee that night.
No.
So I hope you did stop pee after that.
I stayed wide awake all night because the excitement of going to town was one thing, but then the most important thing was not to wet the bed.
Right.
The night you may okay, I go to town.
So question now, Max, you did stop pee bed after that?
They must have stopped. They must have go out. Me I got town so they can't go to with people bed.
So here my friend Serene Timble said, my first trip, my grandmother fried chicken and made corned beef sandwich. And I think we went to see the beautiful flowers at Hope Gardens. I was very shy. I can't imagine what I did. Just look around.
Ah,
I know the people who came from the country because in Kingston, when you see they come, their eyes open wider than ever.
Yes.
Staring. You can know them. You can know them.
And them look around.
Yeah. The eyes open up.
but as the different towns started to develop, it wasn't only Kingston that got that kind of people had that kind of experience with, because there was also this young lady who went to Ochi. They took her to Ochi for the first time, and somebody reckoned, this is not too long ago either, you know, and this voice note started to go around, and when the caller asked her where she is, she said, I'm not Jamaica, me there at Ochi. That's what she said.
Oh, Lord.
Serious. She said, I'm not Jamaica, me there at Ochi.
Oh, my God.
So, as the different towns started to develop, and people even right now, look, the other day they had this traffic jam of people leaving Kingston and going to the country. A lot of those people, when I used to work with the tourist board, and the buses used to come down from Kingston. We used to have meetings about having a designated place for these buses to park so that the people can come and enjoy Ochireas and you know, Duns River, etc. A lot of those people said it was their first time coming to country.
Yeah.
And you know, and they looked, we could tell that they were from Kingston, because it's like they were so excited about the falls, which we see all the time, and they were so excited about the different pretty, don't you look like foreign, and them kind of weird, you know. So it's not just that; it's different towns as they develop.
I know.
Yeah, that's true.
Because with Kingston was the sight, the sounds, and the smells.
True.
It was all of that combined. Because I remember, like, downtown used to be very smelly. In the country, you don't really have that. You had gutters. There was gutters, and there was madman and madwoman where you have to walk out on the street. And some of them, once in a while, somebody that said, no worry about that one, the man, that one the silent mad. Him not that one the silent mad. But then you have some of them who would raise up, and one man got up one day, you know, had in rags and, you know, sleeping on the pavement and stuff. And he got up and he hit the street sign, you know, with a stick, just hit it hard to the point where this street sign that's like a bling, 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 like that. And him looked up on a group of us walking and said, such as I hit that sign, I'm going to hit you. Just like that. just as I hit that sign, I'm gonna hit you. And you have to
Some of them
remember,
very aggressive, very
yeah,
aggressive.
because you don't know. Yeah, but it was all Kingston and stuff was all about the sights, the sounds, the smells. From a country person, experience. When you go that you took in all of that,
Yeah.
and it's either some people go there for refuge as well. Some people go on, looking for days work, and they find a family that wanted probably a domestic, and you would be able to live in, and you get that job, and then you build yourself from there, and all of that. But I once took a young lady there for refuge, and I was a young girl doing this. There was her uncle. He himself had got in trouble in Kingston, and I don't think he was running away from the law, but he was running away from persons who were looking to inflict some bodily harm. And he came back to his roots, which was Mobe, the local district we grew up in St. James there. And he came in with his Kingstonian whole habits and way of living. And after a while, he was just being very abusive, verbally and physically and stuff like that. And he was really terror. It was a terror to the family. And he was looking to, he would hit them and beat them up and curse them out and do all of that stuff. It was very horrific. And one of his nieces, he wanted to actually, we thought he probably would have killed her. And as a young girl, she had an aunt, because these three persons were actually related to my cousins, but on their mother's side. And as a young girl, I was in high school, but I took the wings of the morning, as my granny would say. And I took her to Kingston, because by the time I was 10, I was going to Kingston by myself. On buses. My grandma would take me down to Mobile onto the depot. I get on, my mother take me off the bus. And I was I would say, if I push it, I may have been maybe 13, 14. And I just met up with her and said, look, I'm going to take you to Kingston to your aunt. And we just communicated, and I just had her sneak. My grandmother knew what I was doing, and her mother, who was away, knew what was happening. And I just sneak her out. I got there early in the morning before as they would say, and I took her with me. We went into Montego Bay, got on the bus, and I took her to town and left her with the aunt, and turned back around and went back to Mobile. And when I got back to the district, this man was railing because he didn't know where she was, and he was just railing, and he said, if you ever find out where she's there, or who help her go, I go do them what, and him have been cut like, and him have chop up, and I was sitting a straight face like, I don't know part she there, see her, I don't know which part she there. But I had to help them to get out of that situation. So some people ran to Kingston as
yes.
And I would think it happened the opposite way as well, where people would run to a country because they was being ill-treated in Kingston. So sometimes the reasons for persons going into Kingston, nice for the trips and vacations, but sometimes it was for work and it was for refuge.
Yeah, that's
and they didn't get that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they didn't get that.
All right, so we're going to wrap up in a minute. Ricky says children's perspective is something else. I remember once Miss Rob, his mom, went to town, and when she came, she was telling my grandparents that she got picked. And for years, I thought that people who lived in town had rooster heads because it's on the road.
And then also guys, what was for a person from the country as well, another intimidating thing was them 3-card men.
Yes.
You had them, you had pickpockets, and then you had them with a 3-card men.
They prey on the country people when the bus comes.
Right.
They prey on them. I remember when I went to, it was a vice versa for me, because in the holidays when I got older, I would take the bus to go to the country. I wanted to escape from the city life a little bit and go to the countryside, to go to river, to eat jackfruit, to go down at the bar ground, to play a ball, to do all sorts of things. To me, country life was better than town life. And right now, I'm living here in Florida, and I'm living in the country area. Because the city, I love city life for a time, but the older you get, you don't want it anymore. You know? So I escaped to the countryside. And when holiday time come, I want to go to play in the river, catch a crayfish, jump up on it, the stone them, and all these things. So a lot of times I did the vice versa. I wanted to go to the country.
All right. So Gritly says no, she did get
Lost in our hope, God.
lost in a hope, God. No, dear God.
The meals, I'm
I think
the
that's something
meals,
that happened to me too, you know.
All right, so
meals.
we have to wrap up, but I'm just winding down here. Ricky said, I also remember going on outings to Rose Hall House or to Puerto Rico Beach. Anyway, the way the bully beef sandwich nice, I would eat off mine before we reach Trout Hall. My cousin then made the best bulky beef sandwich to this day.
Me no say me go at the zoo, me go at the zoo and the elephant go make one nice and me run nearly tear down the whole zoo. What? When me start to run,
You're a smuggler.
It was a matter of life and death, Hortense. It was life or death.
I want to thank everyone for making it happen this morning. Your audience, but Ricky have to come back next week.
For real.
But we thank everybody for journeying with us on the country come to town. And I'm sure there are so many more experiences, but you hold them dear because at some point in time you might have to pop them out for some reason. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in this morning, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Inside of the Zone with Lady D Denise Gomez, and I'll allow the ladies to go ahead and just brand up themselves right now as we close off, because I have to run now to a meeting, but it's always good. Max.
Okay, yes, aka Max Boys. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp, and my yard. I do poetry, I do music, I do all the entertainment there is. I love the stage. You can reach me on 7557-3806 or on all my platforms. Thank you, Lady D, for this wonderful opportunity.
You're welcome. Jack.
For your cakes and puddings, the Pudding Pan, 917-533-2380, or just go on Instagram or Facebook.
All right. Jack.
Okay, so I am having a poetry competition coming up, and the deadline is June the 1st. It's fast approaching. Please have the children from 1st to 3rd grade enter. They will be getting prizes, monetary prizes. So let them enter, please. I'm a tutor. I'm a poet. I'm everything. I did face painting last week. That's why I don't ever see me. I went to the countryside to do it. So in Florida. So come on, let the children enter the poetry competition, please. Thank you.
And Sharon's.
Yes, folks, I sell African American inspired gift items, and a catalog can be available to you via a virtual catalog or an actual physical catalog. Very, very, very beautiful gift items for the family and friends. Mother's Day is coming up. Make it special for your mom or for a good friend. I can be reached at 646-342-6838. Hit me up on WhatsApp. Thank you.
All righty, thank you so much. And for yours truly, Lady Denise Gomez, I'm the producer and presenter of the show, Inside the Zone with Lady D. It broadcasts on Linkage Radio in Mount Vernon, New York, Mondays 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursdays 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm an MC, voiceover specialist, playwright, and stage production manager. Give me a call, 914-304-2592, or email me insidethezone.nyc@gmail.com. What a morning, country come to town. On Saturday morning runnings. It good. God willing, we see you next week. And we'll huddle together, ladies, to say what we are doing for this week, because it's nice. It's nice like that. Enjoy the weekend, everybody.
All right. I'm packing up my dulcimer in a grip now. All right.
Of course.
All right.
Me take a
All righty. So
Okay.
want to just bless up everyone and say thank
Have a
you, thank
blessed
you.
weekend.
And
All right.
subscribe. We're out of here. Blessings, everybody. We out.
Blessings.
Blessings.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. See you all next week.